For those of you who don't know me, my name is Leanne Vogel. I'm a holistic nutritionist and high-fat enthusiast behind the site healthfulpursuit.com, and I help women regulate their hormones, balance their metabolisms, and generally be awesome by eating more fat. And today we're going to be talking about how to quit coffee and why it's important to quit coffee in certain circumstances, and what withdrawals are all about. Why would somebody want to stop drinking coffee? That's a very good question. So coffee definitely has some health aspects that are super awesome. And if your adrenals are totally awesome and you've tested your cortisol AM, this is a blood test, and it's around the 550 mark. Now that's a metric number. So if it's not metric, if you're not in a metric system, I love you too. Thank you. If you're not in a metric system, then you will have to do that conversion. But if your cortisol AM comes around 550, then your cortisol is awesome and your adrenals are awesome. Also, if your thyroid is imbalanced, coffee might not be the best choice for you because, as you know from some of my YouTube videos, your adrenals, your thyroid, and your sex hormones are kind of in this three-legged stool. So if your adrenals are wonky, then your thyroid and your sex hormones are going to struggle. So if any of these are an issue for you, your sex hormones, your thyroid, or your adrenals, if one gets thrown off, the other gets thrown off. And with the adrenals, coffee can throw off your adrenals. So, and this is just caffeine in general. I have some clients that don't like coffee, so they eat like all of the chocolate, and that has a lot of caffeine in it too. Thank you so much for your comment. That was so beautiful. Thank you. So why should one stop coffee? Well, if your adrenals are imbalanced, it's going to throw off all the other things. Decaf coffee can have a little bit of caffeine in it. So definitely watch for that. I know myself personally, when I was overcoming adrenal dysfunction, I couldn't even have decaf. In fact, I couldn't even have kombucha because it was affecting my adrenals. So I can't do this. I have to stop with the coffee. There's going to be certain signals that your body's going to send you that perhaps you're maybe a little bit addicted to caffeine. Thanks so much for the hearts tap if you're loving what I'm sharing. Some things that could be a signal of caffeine withdrawal could be things like headaches, sleepiness, constipation is a big one, lack of concentration, just kind of like that feeling when you go without caffeine. So to give you an idea of how much coffee I used to drink when I worked at a weight loss clinic many years ago, I drank 3 pots of coffee in a day, like full pots. And then I would go like home, and before I went out with my friends, I would have like an energy drink. So yeah, it was majorly like, it enriches my life. I can't go without it. And when I went keto and realized that I had adrenal dysfunction for a while, I was still having like bulletproof coffees and rocket fuel lattes, which is my like women's version of bulletproof coffee. I was having that every day, sometimes 2 times a day. And when I started working through healing my adrenals, I had to remove caffeine, and that was really hard for me because I loved it so much. But now my adrenals are fine. I choose not to have caffeine because like I'm fine without it now. My thyroid is fine, my sex hormones are fine. So getting rid of that coffee was a big step toward healing my body. So 3 steps that you can do so that you don't feel all the crazy things that you could if you just went cold turkey. The first one is understanding that coffee is a habitual thing. So you probably love coffee partly because it makes you feel good, and also because it makes you feel good because you're doing a habitual thing. So what you can do instead is slowly start switching over to less and less caffeine. So the first one would be going from like a full coffee to like black coffee to black tea because that has a little bit less caffeine in it. And then to oolong tea because that has a little bit less. And then to green tea, white tea, and then herbal tea. Things like chicory would be a good option. I imagine decaf kind of being in the green tea, white tea area. Like, it's still got a little bit of caffeine, but it's definitely not what, a regular coffee would have. Like, espresso will have even more. Thank you so much for the love from Hawaii. Step number 2 is drink lots and lots of water. So that will help flush things out a lot quicker and get over the feeling of withdrawal, like the headaches and the sleepiness and all the things. And then taking it one step at a time. So just because, you think that you should remove coffee doesn't mean that like tomorrow you can't have coffee and no caffeine and no chocolate. Like, it's taken me 10 years to get here where I am right now with my health. And I think a lot of us see people in this space and think, oh my gosh, I need to be like them tomorrow. And it's unfortunate that like gurus in the health industry aren't talking about how long it took them to get to where they are. And that's why my podcast partner Amber and we released a podcast on Sunday about our experiences with an eating disorder and our experiences with our eating disorder. So we really wanted to show how long it's taken for us to get to this point right now. So understand that you are who you are, and you are beautiful and perfect just the way that you are, and improving on your health is only to extend your life, and that's totally okay. And if coffee doesn't sit well with you and you know that, going from 5 cups to 4 cups over the next month, that's a huge improvement, and like high five for that. Any like diet sodas or anything like that, like one step at a time. Coffee was created on the 3rd day for a reason. So number 4, okay, so this is a bonus one, is movement helps. So when I was reducing my amount of coffee that I was having a ton of like movement exercises, that sort of thing, like even just getting outside and moving, exercising, if that's part of your process, will help. So let's go over the 4 steps because I added a bonus. The first one was understanding that it's a habitual thing and lowering your amount of caffeine. So that goes from black to oolong to green tea to white tea to herbal tea. And any of those like chicory or there's like that dandy blend or mushroom coffee. Those are all caffeine free and you can enjoy those. Number 2 is drink a lot of water. Number 3 is take it one step at a time and know that you're freaking awesome just the way that you are. And 4 is movement helps. So awesome. Let's get to the Q&A. If people are wondering, I reference the podcast. You can find us at the No Sugarcoating Podcast. Sugarcoating is one word. We just talked about our eating disorders. I haven't heard any feedback, so if you guys liked it, give me some hearts because that was a really raw, crazy episode. Does it affect hormones, blood sugar? Thanks so much for the hearts. Stevia, it can affect your blood sugar, so stay note to that. I love that you love number 3. That's so awesome. Thanks so much for the hearts. Thoughts on honey for carb up? Yeah, totally. Honey can be really great for falling asleep. It does have a quite high amount of fructose, so pay attention to that. If you start to get like little acne bumps, just pay attention to the fructose on that. I'm sorry for the bad connection. Like, my life is in shambles right now. I just got back from Expo. I've lost my voice. You can tell it's a little bit different. There's renovations upstairs. I don't even have a bedroom or a bathroom right now. I'm like living in an undeveloped basement with very bad internet, so I'm trying my best. I'm so sorry. We should be up and running like perfection in April, hopefully. Yeah, so Q&A, coffee, happy to answer questions. There's a heart right there if you can share it. Or a little dude, rather. You can also give me hearts. But a little dude right there, and you can share. The Q&A is like the best part of all the episodes. Loved your podcast, referred my BFF. Oh, that's so great. Thank you so much for sharing my stuff. Thank you. We were so concerned about that episode. Like, is this going to be good or not? We really wanted to make it as awesome as possible for everyone listening. So thank you. Any questions about caffeine, stevia, and hormonal balance? Shouldn't affect things at all. Shouldn't affect things at all. But, yeah. I mean, if it spikes your blood sugar, then maybe remove it because that could affect your hormones. Love how raw everything is. Oh, thanks, guys. Thank you. Doing keto for 3 months, very strict, developed eczema. Never had it before. Common? Not common. Is it like a rash? Because that's common. That would be keto rash. But eczema from keto, are you well, you said very strict, so you're probably not practicing carb ups. I would start doing carb ups with like starches and see. Caffeine culprit, struggling with PMS, age 43. Oh, I mean, it could be because of that stool. It very well could be. If you're not familiar with my work, you can head on over to healthfulpursuit.com/fat fueled. That was really, really helpful, my PMS, once I started getting my period. If somebody wants to put that in the comments, that would be amazing. Caffeine blood sugar drop. Yeah. Yeah, that could definitely be, yeah, that's definite cause of that situation for sure. You could try adding fats to your coffee, like I recommend in my Rocket Fuel Latte. I would make the whole Rocket Fuel Latte and see how that goes for you. If you go to the Google machine and type in, thank you so much, and type in Healthful Pursuit Rocket Fuel Latte and try that and see if it crashes your blood sugar. It shouldn't, but let me know how that goes. Yeah, all the hearts. Chicory tea tastes kind of like coffee. Great alternative. Yeah, totally. I actually tried a mushroom coffee by Four Sigma. I'm out on agave. I do not enjoy agave. Four Sigma makes a mushroom coffee, and perhaps I will be featuring them in the future. I'm just chatting with them, trying to get things sorted out. But it was so good. It was so good. So I highly recommend that stuff. Caffeine and acne. Yeah, there can be if it spikes your blood sugar or makes your blood sugar go low, or it causes that stool to tip over and affects your sex hormones. It can be related to acne for sure. My complexion definitely improved when I stopped with the coffee. Studies say that stevia causes cancer. I would love to, I'll Google that and see if I can find information on that. Because there aren't a lot of studies out there on stevia. Cool. Okay, so we made it through another Periscope video, MCTs and getting the runs. Yeah, it's usually the quality of the MCTs. Try bulletproof, and if not, switch back over to coconut oil and see how that goes. Awesome. So, thank you so much for joining in on the Periscopes. I will be back on Thursday with a Q&A, and I will have internet, so it'll be great. And thanks so much for watching, and I will see you on Thursday. Love you all. Thank you. Live from my basement. This is what my basement looks like. And I will see you guys on Thursday. Bye.